This is what we believe to be the well right by where the house was. See, that's where the house, you can see that, that's the foundation. And we're really hoping this will be usable. There's a pipe right there that ran to where the house was.
There's no bottom.
There's no bottom?
I don't know.
Just keeps going. But there's water down there. And you can see.
It's running.
Yeah, you can see it running.
Oh, I could see it running.
You can hear it.
You can see the water is down about 6 feet maybe. Of course, it's probably really nasty. So we got this well and the one over there, and none of these are on the state maps. So I've looked on the state's websites and there's nothing saying there's wells here. I think this one was a windmill. It'd be the frame around it and the windmill up and everything. Just something I've always wanted.
We hauled a bunch of rock out and there was a bunch of dirt and plant material in there.
It's been covered up for who knows how long. Probably Hoffa down here.
Is there a bottom or is it just rocks?
I don't know yet. Guess I could have lined the bottom with rocks, but it seems like it was.
You can see the reflection. Oh, yep, you can see the water. See the water down there? And it looks close, but it's actually quite a ways down there.
The other well, the water is up pretty high. You can reach down and touch it if you wanted to. This one's quite a bit deeper.
Mm-hmm. Ah, babe.
More rock. Because of that being covered, it's just gonna, more crap's just gonna keep flowing into it. You can see there's, I mean, it's not like stuck or anything. Oh, I can feel the bottom of it hitting the wall.
Well, we'll call the state extension office and they have people who come out and test and check stuff out. So we'll call them and come out and look and see what we can use. If we can use it, they'll test the water, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, because we were hoping to use that one back there, but that's another 150 feet away and 100 feet away. And this one's just 50, 75 feet and we're there. So that'd be nice.
That'd be good. Yep. Yeah, it would be good.
So this is the well closest to the house. And as you can see, as we went down in there, we found quite a habitat going on. These are black rat snakes that were hibernating. You can see there's a leopard frog right there. So it's kind of, they got their own little ecosystem in their food supply. I'm really surprised that frog has actually survived through the winter without being eaten by the snakes. All in all, I think we counted at least 6 snakes. We caught a few of them later, and they were about anywhere from, most from about 4 to 5 feet long. Seeing as how this well was full of little critters, we knew right away that the viability of the water in it was going to be questionable. We did plan on basically pumping everything out and letting it fill back in, and then our plan was to use this only for gardening and lawn watering and things like that. It was definitely not going to be used for any type of drinking purposes at all. This is definitely the oldest well as compared to the other one, which we'll see in a little bit. This is a cast iron pipe, and just looking down there, it was pretty clear that it was flaking and crumbling and not in the best condition. This right here is an opening about 12 feet down, which is real confusing. Even the guy doing it didn't know what this opening was for. The only we could think of is when they built it, they actually dug down that far and had this opening there on purpose as kind of like a cistern or a reservoir to hold more water. Finally get around and start pushing down. You can see all the debris coming off. You'll find dead leaves, and I think that was maybe a piece of snake skin. But as we go down deeper and deeper, the pipe looks about consistently the same. There's no real variations or breaks or things like that really concerned us. The pipe running down on the lower half of the screen, that's actually the part that pumps up, and then the casing is around it. We're not really sure where that was attached to anything at. We were able to pull it out after quite a bit of tugging and work. I still have no idea where that was actually attached. I think it was probably in that opening area. We just missed it when we were doing the camera work. It would have been really nice if this well ended up being usable, being so close to the house. It would have been piped over relatively easy. Of course, it used to have a windmill on top, which I'd love to get another windmill to put back in its place, but finding one's pretty difficult. Getting down a little deeper, you can see kind of the color of the walls is changing a little bit, just getting more sediment buildup. I believe the camera guy got his camera stuck here for a little bit. He was trying to shake it around to get it loose, which just stirred up all sorts of debris from the walls. And he'll try and push down here in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and jump the video forward until he starts moving back down again. Finally hit the bottom of the well here. We are down 42 feet. So it's not a very deep well, with it being so full of debris and the casing kind of falling apart. Again, we knew it's not going to be something we could use for drinking water, but we're still hopeful we can get this running for just for landscaping and things like that. So now we'll move on to the bigger well, which is back by the barns. It's probably good 150, 200 feet away, which makes it a little more difficult to get it set up for the house. But we ran the camera down there as well. So the previous well was a 6-inch cast iron pipe. This well's casing was an 8-inch steel pipe. and already it was pretty clear that the casing was in much better condition, and it was definitely a lot newer. Just the whole setup was a lot newer. So we're hoping that this well will be able to supply us with actual water. You can see how clear everything is in comparison to the first well. Now, granted, all this water is still going to go through a very good filtration system. We're not just going to pump it up and start drinking it or anything. But our hope is that after we get this water tested, we will find that it is actually usable for human consumption, not just livestock or gardening. Much like the last well, the drop line or the main pump tube, you can see it there on your right, was still intact and went all the way down to the bottom of the well. Really not quite sure how we're going to get those out, but I'm sure we'll figure it out one way or another. The reason why we need to take them out is I want to be able to replace that with a more modern pipe. Plus, I don't know the condition of them, how well it is inside, and I would still have to pull it up even to get a pump down in there. So at some point, we're going to have to pull those up and then attach a newer style electric pump and everything to put down the well and remove the existing one. You can barely see it, but the pump line is still there on the right hand of the side of the screen. It pops up every now and then. I'm really curious on how they drilled this through all the rock. I'm sure once they get through it, it's pretty easy to slip it down in there, but there's a lot of rock out here, so they had to have quite the machine to bore through that and then keep going. So we're about to the bottom of the well. Should be coming up here. There it is. So we're just over 80 feet deep with an 8-inch pipe. I calculate that to be roughly 2,000 gallons of water. So the idea is to keep this as a backup water source. We're going to go with rainwater off the house. If for some reason we go into a drought, we can turn on the pump to this well and get 2,000 gallons to fill back up our cisterns with. And then again, I'll go through a pretty good filtration system, and we're going to get the water tested to make sure everything looks good there. But beyond that, this will just be a backup well, and then we can use this for gardening and for giving water to our animals.